All right, fight fans, welcome back to another great edition of Sunday Night Fights. This is Yoink. That was quite an exciting game. We are now going to go to our second game in a best-of-5 series between two giants of the Company of Heroes world. That's Aimstrong and Symbiosis. Now, on this first game one that you all just watched with Ame Polizei and Razor, it looks like Aimstrong came out on top with amazing tank usage and stug action on the fields of Argenton Crossroads. I can never say it right. Argenton. Ami will yell at me continuously if I say it wrong. But Game 2 will be played on the same map with these two gentlemen reversing sides and also reversing armies. We will have Symbiosis playing the Wehrmacht in the north, and Aimstrong will be playing for the Americans in the south. Now, before we begin, though, Razor, do you have any quick analysis of what you might expect to see on this same map, but in Game 2?
I really don't know how these players are going to play it because it's such an underused map. I think we're probably going to see fairly safe Tier 2 out of Symbiosis, and probably some early rifle upgrades from Aimstrong. That would be what I'd imagine happening.
Yeah, you know what? This map, I've played this map before. Of course, it's fairly new in terms of the pantheon of maps for Company of Heroes. For me, it flavors a lot like Angeville, just because it has some good cutoff play. I know that you had commented earlier that the two strategic points that are just so important on this map are a little bit closer to the players' bases than the Angeville strategic points, so there's less of a chance of a cutoff. Like we saw in Game 1, I really didn't see much of a cutoff game being played, but we did see a little bit of a cutoff to the north. That one strategic point did get cut off at one point, but overall, it looked like it was a pretty balanced north-south Wehrmacht American map split up. So while I do love a good cutoff game, I think this map, though, still has a great amount of flow for that kind of action, and we're going to probably just see more of the same. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think it's possible to cut off. It's just very difficult to hold the cutoffs. It's impossible for the US to really wipe off the Wehrmacht from the map, which means the Wehrmacht can generally hold on to enough resources to go into mid-game, and then the game develops from there.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent to watch these guys go at it again after they've, cracked their knuckles on this map for Game 1 and now that they're all warmed up. But before we go to Game 2, we're going to do something that I know everyone has been waiting for. Throughout this episode of Sunday Night Fights, we have 5 more Company of Heroes 2 beta keys to give away. Now, last week we gave away 20. These were all, given to us by Relic so that our loyal followers and viewers are going to get a chance to explore and help shape the next edition of the Company of Heroes franchise, Company of Heroes 2. Relic understands that Sunday Night Fight viewers are some of the most passionate and enthusiastic Company of Heroes players out there, and they want you to be a part of shaping Company of Heroes 2. Now, I wish that we could give keys to everybody, because Company of Heroes 2, the beta, is going to be a great experience. But right now, we have 5 more to give away. And the way that you can win them by being a Sunday Night Fights fan and viewer is to follow us on our Twitch TV channel. Now, if you haven't done so already and you're a new viewer to Sunday Night Fights, the way you do it is look in the upper right-hand corner of the twitch.tv home screen, and you should see a button that says follow. It's usually right by your name if you've signed in, if you have a Twitch TV account. If it already says following, that means you're already a follower of our channel. If it doesn't say following, you want to click it, and you want to enter yourself into a raffle where every episode we're going to give away, or at least in this episode, we're going to give away a Company of Heroes 2 beta key. Now, you can only win if you follow. And we have already just picked our name for today's winner for game number 2. And that person is, now I know, Razor, I don't know if you were watching last game, but we have a tradition now where we do a drum roll. And I would like to have the co-host or the co-caster do the drum roll for me. Are you up to doing a drum roll?
Do you mean like drum, 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 drum? Like that?
That would be the drum roll that last week's co-caster Sepha did, which I was hoping for more about. But if you prefer to, do that in your manner, that would be fine too.
Oh, I don't think I can live up to that, but I'll give it a go. Hang on.
That was pretty good. And our winner of the first beta key of this Sunday Night Fights episode is Will525. That's right, if your name is Will525, if you're in the channel, that's WILL 525, go ahead and send a PM to General Hell, and he will send you your beta key. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Will.
So if at any time, though, you must be present to win. So we do want you to PM General Hell, and if we find out that at the end of the episode that there is anybody who didn't actually collect their key, we'll give them out at the end. Also, we do have 5 keys. We're assuming that this series will go to Game 5. If it doesn't, we'll give out all of the keys at the end. So no matter what, stick around. You're going to have a chance to win a beta key if you make it all the way to the end of the show. So please keep watching. So with that out of the way, I think we can probably get this game started. What do you think, Razor?
I'm more than happy to get this game started.
Okay, well, I am paused at 5 seconds. If our director NTD is ready, we can go to the game screen, which will then allow us to get this thing started. I am going to be following Aimstrong in the southwest as Americans. So that means you'll follow Symbiosis in the northeast as the Wehrmacht. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I have faith he's going to do the comeback. He's still my tip to win it.
All right, well, we'll see how that works out. We are all paused at 5 seconds, and NTD, our director and cameraman, if we could get this game started. Oh, stand by. He is getting his stuff together. NTD, you let me know when you're ready. In the meantime, we will just chit-chat a little more about this map. All right, we're good. We do not need to do any of the chit-chat. No chit-chattery necessary. We're going to get this thing started. The countdown begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. And the clock is ticking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Another great game getting ready on Argentown Crossroads. This map was built by a member of the Reborn clan, right? A guy named White Flash?
That's correct. White Flash Reborn made Argentown Crossroads in my most ridiculous French accent.
That's great. You sound like Maurice Chevalier. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sure I'm really destroying the French accent, any comedic value that would have had. But, oh, hey, what's going on here in Aimstrong's base? Looks like we half built a barracks and then he kept moving. That was interesting. It must have been on purpose because now he's got more engineers coming up to finish it up.
Yeah, it's a 3 Pioneer opening. I'm not 100% sure. I think if you do that half build, bring the next one up, you actually get slightly better timing on the manpower to get the rifle out. It's not a build I'm experienced with, but I believe it gives you a much better timing on the rifle, so you get the rifle out at 270. Rather than having a bit of a lag on the manpower income, so you can get your engineers out, capping on the field, get the rifle out, everything syncs nicely.
Let me just interrupt. Sorry, I gotta get NTD to fix the scoreboard. It was Aimstrong, of course, that won game 1, so we don't want everybody thinking the score's wrong. So NTD, get on that. All right, take it away.
Thanks, boss. Anyway, I was going to say, Razor, you were exactly right. The very millisecond that he finished the barracks, he was able to purchase the rifleman with exactly the amount of manpower, just like +1 or +2 manpower. So he had timed that down perfectly.
Yeah, it's just a matter of efficiency. We see a bike MG opening from Symbiosis.
Let's do it. I don't mean to interrupt you, Razor, but let's do a quick time sync here at, it's 2 minutes even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 10. NTD, how's it looking? All right. So we've got on the left side of the field here, we've got our first shots fired of this game. We have a Wehrmacht motorcycle taking a few pot shots at some riflemen as they move away. We are looking at an almost 50-50 split on the way that this map is sort of shaping up at this point. And a little bit more combat around this motorcycle here as it flees to the north, behind the hedgerow.
Yeah, we see again the fight going to happen on this left-hand side. It's fairly standard for this map, from my experience. And we see a very early mine from Aimstrong placed down on the road there. I'm not sure if that's going to have that much of an impact, because I think the Vermic's probably not going to push out that far, but maybe it'll come into play.
Well, we'll see. That's interesting how that's happening. Yeah, you know what? You had commented several times during our first match that green cover there on the left side is going to make it hard for any MG42s to suppress anybody in that graveyard. But as you see, we do have a Wehrmacht MG42 sort of floating on the left side of the map over there. But I hope he's not going to be pointing it to the left. He's probably going to end up pointing it south for most of the game.
Yeah, it can prevent things from getting up to the green cover in the position it was in, but he needs to relocate it. There's several avenues of flanking in this area, and he also controls that central house with the engineers in, which means if he wants to, he can put some rifles in, and as you see, there's doors on either side, which makes it much easier to flank an MG, to get out either door and then prevent it from suppressing you.
Right, now you notice here, last game you had also noticed that Symbiosis knew that walking behind that left wall on the graveyard is sort of out of field of fog of war, and it looked like maybe this time Aimstrong was going to try and pull that kind of action, but instead he's bringing those riflemen back around to engage this motorcycle as it takes pot shots in this weird triangle-shaped building, which I'm sure is supposed to represent some sort of farm-type building. I could never figure out what that building was supposed to be in Company of Heroes. It's like a grain silo or something.
Storage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a grain storage build. They burn real good when you set them on fire with flamers. So it seems to me that the majority of the... Oh, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see fast bars here from Symbiosis. He's playing very passive so far. Hasn't made any big engagements. That's normally a sign you're trying to conserve manpower till your bars pop and then go for a big flank.
Well, that big flank is happening right now. It looks like we have riflemen coming right around that MG42. It's not going to be able to turn in time. And now a big push by the Americans straight up the center. Flamers leading the way. The entire German force has now been forced off the field. We have the major combat units hard retreating. We have worker units soft retreating right into the waiting arms of an MG42. That was the only thing that saved German forces from a complete rout from the field. That hero MG42 that was placed perfectly there. But while the Americans are still on the field, looks like now they are going to do what they do best, and that's fast cap everything in sight.
Yeah, great flank coming in from numerous angles. The MG wasn't quite there in time to prevent that flank from happening. And again, Symbiosis seemed to be struggling a bit with his micro. He should have used his bike to try and push the units away, try and prevent the flank a little bit. Instead, it kind of sat there and died for really no gain.
Yeah, boy, Symbiosis is now kind of on his heels here. He has mainly defensive units in terms of those MG42s. I think he's got 2 of them, right? Whereas Aimstrong, he's got riflemen everywhere, and they're doing everything all at once. So, as you said, the micro seems to be lopsided in favor of Aimstrong at this point. And look at what Aimstrong is building up here in the northwest, a machine gun bunker that's covering an enormous amount of territory. There is a way to sneak around it, but boy, this is going to be one big surprise for Symbiosis when he walks into that thing.
That's the first time in a serious competitive game I think I've ever seen a machine gun emplacement. But it's probably going to work out quite well, because Symbiosis decides to attack into this position again. He's only got 1 Volk squad on the field, he's got a sniper, 2 MGs. It's going to be very difficult for him to do anything against that machine gun emplacement. He's going to need flamers, or potentially just to try and switch sides of the map and try and cap the other side.
Well, this becomes an issue. I mean, you tell me, it's an issue of pushing power. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of power to push onto the field. That sniper in these MG42s, they're more about hanging back and letting the enemy come to you, and they do a very good job of that. But in this particular case, that's not what he needs. He needs to be able to push, and 1 Volk squad's not going to do it, especially now that we have this machine gun bunker up that's guarded by 2 American units. It looks like they're content to float around back behind it. This is going to be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. These low number of Volks builds with MGs, bikes, snipers, they rely entirely on not losing the first big flank. You have to defend that first big flank. If you then lose it and the US has time to set up, so difficult to come back into the game. I mean, he's got the sniper, it's a bit of a comeback mechanic, but it's going to be so difficult for him to break into that position and recapture any significant resources.
Well, you know what? It looks like he's decided to spend some resources in his base to build a Kriegs barracks, which is coming up right now. I mean, maybe if he puts some grenadiers out of there, we might be in good shape. But until that time, again, it's a problem of pushing power. And, this 1 sniper that's on the field here is going to do a great job picking away at the Americans, because they obviously don't have anything to cap it. But you know what? I should say not cap it, but combat against it. A sniper is building in the weapon support center that has gone up in Aimstrong's base. So we're going to see another sniper knife fight like we did in previous episodes. Last game's knife fights, I don't think really thrilled Ami the way that they usually do. It just wasn't as good.
Well, I mean, that's a really early weapon support center, especially with this kind of map dominance. To go weapon support center is unusual. You'd expect a fast teching to bars or an M8 or even a tank depot, something to really thrust off the field. But the weapons support center, there's very little chance that Symbiosis is going to be expecting a sniper at this stage. Very little chance. So I think this counter snipe is going to be very easy.
Okay, so speaking of interesting things not to expect, it looks like Symbiosis has managed to sneak around that machine gun bunker in the northwest and place his MG42 in a position where he can pretty much hit anybody coming up towards him. Well, these riflemen managed to get extra close using green cover, and now the MG42 I've spoken too soon. It looks like it's been ejected from its position behind that machine gun bunker, so the machine gun bunker will remain in a good spot for now.
Yeah, unfortunately the MG guy started reloading as that rifle squad was... It just switched target, but then had to reload after a couple of shots. Didn't manage to suppress the rifles. They got into the heavy cover that's all around the area, and then the MG becomes effectively useless.
Now, Aimstrong has chosen infantry company. I know this because I just saw some riflemen lay some mines, which are going to be excellent for earning veterancy for rifles, because if you remember, players may or may not know, if your rifle is the one that lays the mine, and then the mine ends up killing whatever infantry or vehicles, the riflemen that laid the mine get the experience credit. So you can really vet up rifles really fast if you start doing that all over the field.
Aimstrong is setting up here for a counter-snipe on Symbiosis. He seems to have a very good sense of where the sniper is, and he's setting up in a position where he won't get revealed by anything, but he's trying to tempt that sniper out to take a shot in a second. He's setting up for a big flank, but the point of this flank isn't to flank. The point of this flank is to get the counter-snipe.
Well, we got a bunker also going up here right outside of Symbiosis' base. I'm guessing it probably would turn into a medic bunker, being that it's really not in a position to do anything else.
Yeah, and he's gone defensive as well. He's just going to try and turtle it out and go defensive medic bunker with Gren spam, I think.
Alright, well, here we go. We got lots and lots of MG42 action, all pointing in the same direction. It would be wonderful for a flank right now, coming up from the south, but there just aren't any American units down there that would really do anything like that. One rifle squad now engaged by grenadiers over on the east side of the map here, also being picked away by snipers. Going to be unable to help in any sort of a way of a flank. And now, oh my gosh, they've walked into the base machine gun flank area of fire, so they have to retreat. Americans now retreating off the field.
How much fuel has Aimstrong got? He must be sitting on a huge amount of fuel at the moment.
Yeah, he's sitting on an entire oil well basically right now. He's got plus 42 income and 289 in the bank, and down goes some off-map artillery. It's going to drop right on the heads of those MG42s, and that bunker looks like we did a little bit of damage. Oh my gosh, that MG42 just walked right through that. Looks like they're going to escape, but doing some damage all over that bunker, including some Volksgrenadiers right to the south.
Yeah, luckily he got defensive and got the reinforced bunkers just before that came down, so that didn't take too much damage from the off-map. This is honestly complete domination by Aimstrong to have that kind of fuel floating so early in the game, 11 minutes into the game, and he's got 200 fuel with a 42 income. Reminds me of someone like Heroic Company back in the day who used to stick in Tier 1 and say, I can just beat you with Tier 1, I'm not going to give you fuel to get out of it, and I'm going to keep pounding you with Tier 1.
Yeah, that is like, yeah, this is a crazy Tier 1 strat. You know, he's just decided to buy bars. They're going to finish here in about 10 seconds. So these rifles are going to become doubly powerful here as they skirt around the map and start doing some major flanking action. Because look, Symbiosis' flank is way open on the east side. He doesn't have anything over there. If riflemen come up around the side there, it's going to just collapse this entire area around the medic bunker.
Yeah, I think he's relying on staying in his own territory if they gets a big flank off for the fatherland and hope that holds on.
Yeah, we got also have a medic triage center in the Americans' base, in Aimstrong's base, so he's going to come out with fresh, healed-up riflemen. That's going to be a problem also for the Germans since they don't have any sort of healing capacity right now. There's no vet on it. I do see that Symbiosis built a PaK-38. That's going to do him absolutely no help right now unless he plans on using it to destroy that machine gun tent over there on the left. I don't see any vehicles coming out of Aimstrong's base for quite some time, even though he's got enough fuel for about 10 of them.
Yeah, I think maybe Aimstrong kind of mind-gamed him a little bit there, staying so long without the bars, and Symbiosis is thinking, oh my god, he's got so much fuel, he's going to build a tank, I need to get a PaK out. Focusing really on that, and then getting the bars much later, which I was going to say is weird, but now I think about it, does make sense in terms of forcing your opponent to build a PaK.
Yeah, that is definitely that mind game thing. You can kind of do it with the Wehrmacht too if you stay with Volksgrenadiers for a long time and then use a medic bunker to get a Gren, and you can trick the American into thinking you went tier 2 and really you pop out a Puma. Seen that for a while.
Oh, we might have a counter snipe here. The bike's rushing into the center. No, this is too far.
Alright, so now it looks like Symbiosis is really trying to take out that machine gun tent, which he did succeed in doing with that Pack 38. So we finally did get a little use out of it. It's going to open up that graveyard area, but, I mean, does it really matter at this point? Can he push into that graveyard area anyway?
Yeah, he can do, and he can probably secure it, but that machine gun emplacement has done its job, and then some. It's kept him out of that area for so long. The resource advantage that Aimstrong has had is absolutely absurd, and also the VP advantage. I've never seen VPs drain this fast in a sort of competitive game. It's very one-sided at the moment. It's going to be difficult for Symbiosis to claw his way back.
Yeah, let's do a time sync. We're at 14 minutes right now. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're right, at just under 15 minutes we've got, you know, basically Symbiosis with 180 VPs and ticking fast, so he's got to do something quick here, which he is. I mean, he was able to wipe that VP over on the left, and he's managed to take the center, but he's going to have to do a lot more if he wants to win this game. It looks like we got a good flank going on right here now, backed up by the sniper. Where is Symbiosis' sniper? Okay, sort of walking in the wrong direction, not going towards the Wehrmacht sniper. They're right to the right of the middle. Here comes the bike, though. Oh, that bike is in danger.
I think he's going to dive the bike. He's going to dive and try and kill it. If he retreats the sniper now, it might die. No, smartly not retreating. A lot of players there would have retreated straight away. He's got the bars. He can kill the bike pretty easily before it can kill the sniper. Much better not retreating the sniper.
Oh, man, that was a huge fail bike. Look at the sniper. Took maybe 10% health, of 5% damage? That's about it? And this is his second.
Yeah,
I just realized he's got another one on the field.
Which just counter-sniped Symbiosis' sniper. I don't think Symbiosis knew he had to. It just got the counter-snipe, and that's going to make it completely impossible for Symbiosis. There's 2 snipers against him. He has no sniper. There's barred infantry coming at him. He only has Vet 1 in his infantry. I can't see what he's going to do here.
This is going to be a tough one. I mean, yeah, oh, look at this sniper right in the face of the Volks going down. Now going to retreat. But, you know what? It looks like Symbiosis just lost both of his MG42, or at least he lost one of the MG42s, and it was on retreat. So the gun itself was destroyed, so he can't go and pick it up and reman it with cheap Volksgrenadiers. He's going to have to build a new one. That hurts, too.
And it seems like there's an on-map howitzer now as well, just to make things go from bad to worse.
Yeah, he did spend a little bit of fuel to build that. He's got 387 now in the bank, so it's really, he's not limited by fuel anymore. What he's limited by is obviously manpower, and what he wants to spend his manpower on and his munitions. So this is going to be a game where he just needs to conserve his troops in terms of not taking an enormous amount of losses. I bet a medic tent would be really good at this point, and he can just build whatever he wants right now.
He should really get a supply yard. Oh, missed counter-snipe in the middle there.
Missed counter-snipe. Wow, that was close. Whew.
When things are going badly, they all go badly. He needed to get that counter-snipe, really. And Aimstrong should really have a supply yard. I've got to say, anyone watching this, if you have a howitzer and this much infantry on the field and you don't have a supply yard, your manpower income is going to be crippled. I think Aimstrong probably doing alright because he has such dominant map control, but he should really get a supply yard. And with that much fuel, he can get both upgrades straight away.
Right, his income is plus 226. So you're right. It should actually be a lot lower. The only thing that's saving him at this point is map dominance. He's waiting for the
226
right
even is very low. And Symbiosis is just losing units here. He's not really getting anything done.
Down goes another MG42, I know. Oh, sniper's revealed! Sniper's revealed! Oh,
he missed the counter snipe again.
Shot did not get taken.
He missed the counter snipe again. I can't believe that. It's good micro from Aimstrong keeping the sniper moving after it fires, but 2 missed counter snipes in a row. I mean, I'd be pretty mad right now.
Bad luck. Yeah. Keyboard pounding time. Oh, down goes some off-map artillery. It's going to go right on the heads of those MG42. Retreat, retreat! Oh my God, down it goes. But at least the gun remains, and the gun just got destroyed by another shell. Oh no, it didn't. It might be able to be remannable a little bit later.
Nope, it's gone.
Nope, it's gone.
So Symbiosis has been fighting out of pretty much the one sector outside his base for 90% of this game.
Yeah, we got rifles now capping the northern munitions point. Also, you had mentioned earlier that that munitions point allows for players to have a lot of freedom in terms of the munitions powers that they want to use because they're going to have some nice income all the time. Well, if he loses that, he's going to lose even that ability. And we know that defensive doctrine is so dependent upon munitions for things like For the Fatherland and then sort of rocket barrages. And you know what? That howitzer looked like it was fired at that medic bunker. And I think it's going to go down, man. Oh, yeah, one more shot and it's down.
Smashed the hell out of those infantry squads. They got absolutely mown down. I think he lost about 7 or 8 infantry squads to that howitzer shell. That was brutal.
Oh, man. Yeah, now Symbiosis doesn't really have anything to even fall back on. Saw a mortar. Mortar took out a flamer in the house. He's going to try and rebuild that bunker. I think it's a little bit too late because we got 2 snipers now. Oh! Instant oh, counter snipe!
Oh, he gets
wow.
one.
All right. Run, run, run! Sniper!
Oh, I hope he gets both. That was just
two counter snipes! Wow! All right. Hans the sniper actually doing his work. That was a good job.
Yeah, after two missed counter snipes, I'm glad he got those. And it's not important for this game, because this game is definitely over in favour of Aimstrong. But it's important mentally for Symbiosis to get those 2 counter snipes, so that he's in a better mental place to maybe come back.
Yeah, it's like, I guess he got all of his good luck concentrated right at the end of the map, which came a little too late.
Yeah, but it's gonna, instead of thinking, oh my god, I can't possibly win, I'm missing every counter snipe, all my stuff is getting hit by lucky artillery shells, he's gonna be thinking, got the counter snipe on retreat, I'm still capable of beating this guy in the next game.
Right, I'm not a complete loser, I can do this, I can do this. And he is a good player, he just got some really unlucky. We've seen his kind of play before, he's definitely a pro, he just really got outplayed in this particular game. I don't know, maybe he made the wrong choices. He wasn't able to really adapt to that machine gun tent that went up on the left-hand side. That was kind of surprising, I think, for anybody, you'd agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's very surprising and an interesting tactical move, but I mean, it's really the initial flank that killed him. He shouldn't have lost that initial flank. I don't know what he was doing, but his bike was AFK, not doing anything. It should have been blocking those units. The second MG didn't come up fast enough, and that's GG.
Alright, it is GG. It looks like Symbiosis throws in the towel. Aimstrong very graciously says GG as well. NTD, can you please roll? Allies win. All right, well, that was about half the length of the last game, and we are now looking at a 2-0 game in this particular series. Am I correct? It's 2 for Aimstrong, right?
That's right, 2 games for Aimstrong, looking fantastic at the moment. Symbiosis looking a little bit worse for wear, I gotta say.
Well, Sunday Night fans, Sunday Night Fights fans, I think you should stick around. Will Aimstrong take it to the Game 3 and make it a complete closeout here in Episode 2 of our new season of Sunday Night Fights? Or will, Symbiosis come back and take it all the way to the ace game? We'll see. Stay tuned. We're going to give away more beta keys, and we'll be back with Game 3 right after this.